Hey guys, welcome to Indianapolis Healthplex. I'm Master Trainer Shane Moe. Today, this is a functional fitness and therapeutic exercise. So great to be with you today. Really building on this program and really thinking about the fundamentals of exercise, technique, function, working on form, and thinking about how we can incorporate exercise to help prevent some injuries in some cases, preventative prehab, or trying to work on some of our dysfunctional areas if I have pain in certain areas of the body. What we've been doing in our programs, we've been doing more bilateral on day one. Today we're going to go more unilateral full body. So again, we're going to try for everyone at home or wherever you're at, you can do this body weight, or if you have weights or soup cans or anything you can hold in your hands to add some resistance, that's terrific too. Really focusing on this course is thinking about the motions, putting together this different package for you to help really work the body as a whole. Okay, so when you work the complex system, you're going to drive your metabolism, and you're going to burn more calories. Okay, you're going to create mobility and stability. So these are the things we've been working on and talking about. So before we get started today, we're going to go ahead and we always want to start out with that dynamic warm up. And so let's get into our anatomical position. Again, I'm pulling my scapulas down and back. Palms are face forward. Squeeze my glutes. Open up that thoracic cavity. Okay, let's go ahead and bring your shoulders into flexion. We go down. Grab my ankles. Taking my time, squat. Rotation. Rotation. And coming back up and give you frontal view now for this warm up. Anatomical position. You can kind of see my shoulders are pulled down and back. Glutes are activated and tight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into shoulder flexion. We'll come down, grab the ankles. Working on my squat position. You can see me from the side. Rotation. Rotation. Okay, good. So that's just, again, really working on mobility, thinking about how your body is moving as a whole, trying to feel, be cognizant and aware of if you feel tight in certain areas, okay? And always remember, it's so important to be breathing while we do these exercises, always working on that diaphragm, working on breathing constantly, and make sure, as a reminder, as we're going through today, if you have pain, don't push through that. That's the body's check engine light coming on, okay? That's warning you, you want to stop. Don't push through pain, because the body's letting us know. And it's always want to be aware of that when we're exercising. So what I want to work on first today in this package is the rotator cuff. Again, what we're trying to do is create upper extremity balance and stabilize the rotator cuff. The shoulder has a really high range of motion. It's very versatile. It's a versatile joint, very prone to injury. So what we want to try to do is create programming to help work on stabilizers. They're going to help when we're doing other activities and prevent injuries in the shoulder. So again, you can do this with the light weights, no weight, but this is a package here. We're going to put together some movement patterns here that really correspond and go well together. Okay, working around all the rotator cuffs muscles in the scapula, and they're really going to stabilize and keep that rotator in a good alignment, because we think about shoulder impingement being an issue. If the shoulders are constantly adducted, you get some muscle imbalances between the back and the chest. So we want to just going to help us really work on our posture. We're going to start with scaption. Okay, so here you got my weights or hands here. I'm just going to come out here. I want to stop about shoulder height. I'm going to give you 5, and then I'll show you from the frontal view. I'm in the sagittal view here. Notice how I'm stopping at the end range. I'm just giving that mind and muscle connection. I'm giving those muscles and time to contract. I'm thinking about the muscles that are working. I don't want to swing my weights, okay? Then I got compensation. I'm going to miss my targets. I'm really working on good form. Okay, I'm going to go. You can hold that front range. Look at the height of the weights where I'm stopping, just slightly higher than shoulder on scaption here. Working on those stabilizers. Okay, and taking my time on those exercises, okay? Because we're going to really hit those targets. A lot of times if I'm in the gym and I'm swinging, if I'm going too fast, then I'm missing those targets, and then I'm getting a lot of compensatory movement patterns, and I'm going to miss my targets. So we really want to point in and lock in on what we're working. So the first movement we did there was scaption. Next, we're going to do shoulder abduction. So almost kind of a slight lean, okay, and we're going to come out to the side, get a good hold. I've heard it's sometimes we talk, it's like you're holding two milk jugs out to the sides. Again, when it's in range, I'm just kind of stopping about shoulder height, okay? So I've got a little bit of forward lean. I'm giving that side, or that frontal view here. Shoulder abduction. Really important exercise there for building strength up in upper trapezius. Okay, that's going to be a player too, because remember, our body works as a system. So your shoulder and your scapula are going to work in conjunction together throughout these movement patterns. That's why it's so important to develop those areas. Okay, some of those weak points we call them. The next one we're going to do what's called known as a reverse fly or horizontal abduction. So I'm going to come trunk is leaning forward, a good position here. Heads up slightly, okay, and I'm just going to work on squeezing those rhomboids mid-traps. And give you that other view. So just want to make sure, again, feel the in range, have a good position here, flat back. Okay, so that's really going to reinforce posterior deltoid. That's the muscle in the back part of the shoulder that gets overlooked a lot. So very critical to work that part, work that into our exercise, okay? Because what happens a lot of times with shoulder impingement, the anterior deltoid or the front part of the shoulder dominates the posterior part of the shoulder, and that posterior part really gets undertrained. So we get a big imbalance, we get impingement, and we can get neck and shoulder issues, and we can get upper extremity nerve entrapment. So that's called thoracic outlet syndrome. So we want to try to prevent some of those mechanisms, you know, again, by just reinforcing good posture and strengthening some of those stabilizers. So we've done scaption, we've done the abduction, we've done horizontal abduction. Now we're going to do internal external rotation. So this is a great starting point here. Notice my wrist, elbow are in alignment. You can see as I go externally rotating, internal, external, how that looks. I go slow. Once again, I'm at swinging. I want to go slow and really feel those muscles work. This is a great movement pattern to loosen up some of those tighter areas. I'll give you the frontal view now. Great for mobility here. For a lot of most sports, weightlifting, you need to have that range of motion and stability in the shoulder. Okay, and that's just a real great package there, also known as, again, Y's, T's, I's, L's, okay? We put that package in to really reinforce and strengthen the rotator cuff, okay? And for the last motion, just to get shoulder extension in, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get a good position here. I can get a forward lean again. And I'm just gonna do extension. Get that squeeze up top. Get that kind of that isometric hold. You can really see those different muscles working. It's so critical for stability. All right, great, so good start. So we have our dynamic warm up, put in our rotator cuff package, injury prevention, and just trying to work on some of those postural deficiencies we might have. Overall, it's going to help strengthen and stabilize those primary muscle groups, the big global muscle groups that kind of tend to dominate in our posture. All right, so that's, again, putting in those, putting in time into your workout to work on stability is so important. We don't want to forget the stabilizers. We tend to work on the primary muscle groups, and we don't want to forget that supporting cast. So critical to put in your program. Unilateral leg today, I'm going to combine it with upper extremity work. Again, working the body as a system. So we're going to train the single leg, working on weak points, again, working on the hip and the pelvis, stabilization there. And we're also going to get the upper extremity working at the same time. This is going to give us more bang for our buck. We're going to burn more calories. And we're going to get mobility and stability and a lot of balance today. So we're going to get the whole package. We're going to put it all together today in a couple of key motions. And remember, if you're at home, if you need to hold something for support, put a chair nearby, that's okay. You can do this weighted. You can do it non-weighted. Okay, so the key is to try to work through the movements and the motions. Work on training your balance and stability. Take your time. Remember, form and function is critical here. So I'm going to go ahead and start. We're going to go split squat. And so I got my good positioning here. I'm on that back foot. Okay, I'll do 5 here so you can see. My trunk is up. Again, I'm going to go into that squat position. I'm going to go ahead and add in a curl to overhead press. Called a hammer curl. So my hand position's neutral today, and into my shoulder press, neutral. That works a different part of the arm. Called a brachioradialis, it stabilizes the elbow and help prevent tennis elbow. Do one more here, taking my time. Flexibility. I'll give you that frontal view. So again, that dynamic stretch for the psoas, the hips, really working on strengthening not only the glutes again, but trying to loosen up the hip flexors dynamically while we're working on balance and stability. I'll give you a good screen position. Notice how I've got myself up, trunk is up. And go down that front squat. Taking my time on form, feeling the muscles that I'm working, getting the whole body working here. And then one more good one here. Okay, so remember, as we work through, we're comparing right to left. So we're going to try to get a sense of how one side feels to the other. We're working more muscles by adding in the upper extremity. It's going to require more balance and stability as well. So our mind's working to stabilize all those parts and creating a complex movement system that's going to boost our metabolism. And that's going to really engage a lot more core. So all these things that really enhance the workout. I'm going to go ahead a good view here of, I'm gonna change sides here. Taking my time. Real common for us all to be a little different one side to the other, depending on our history. Our body is a compilation of history, so if we've been injured in the past, we've had issues in certain areas, it's great to be aware of those areas. And this is going to help us train and stabilize those areas. And it helps us improve and offset some of those muscle imbalances, especially training the single leg. I'm going to give you a frontal view now. Back toe straight. Good positioning. Okay. Take my time going down. Feel that stretch. Stretching the hip flexor. Always working on breathing. And help enhance flexibility. All right, woo, good burn in the front leg there. That's what we're after, okay? So definitely feel a boost in the heart rate, which is fantastic. When you get some of those major muscle groups working, you heat the body up quickly, you burn more calories, and it builds in conditioning, which is fantastic for, you know, always thinking about health too, blood pressure, working on getting your aerobic conditioning in, both anaerobically and aerobically. Good to work that in. So that's phase one of our full body unilateral. Phase two here, I'm gonna go ahead and transition now. I'm gonna give you my frontal view. Okay, so single-legged deadlift or RDL into scapular retraction, or what we know as commonly as a row. This one's going to take some major balance and strength. So don't be afraid if you need to grab support at home. You know, again, because really is going to work your balance, but also control and a lot of strength to maintain a good position. So I'm going to go ahead and work through it here. Soft knee, legs are bent, coming in, retract, and return. Takes a lot of coordination and strength, putting these muscle groups together. A lot of balance. You're going to feel it really fire up the hamstring and the glute is on fire. And I'm getting the upper extremity work around the shoulders. Really squeezing those scapulas, get that finish. Really burning up now. One more. Woo! All right. That's definitely a challenging exercise. Very challenging. Okay, and you're going to really feel hamstring, glute, low back's working, upper back. So you're hitting the whole push to your chain, all the way up to the top of the back. So again, that full body work again. This is where, for us all, even for me, I'm going to feel a difference from one side to the other. Because, you know, we tend to have one side stronger than the other. And that's why it's so critical to have this in. So I'm going to soft knee. I'm going to take my time, work through this. Very athletic, challenging exercise. All right. Good. So there's nothing wrong too at home. Again, using something to support. If you're close to a wall, you have a chair. I always say a chair is great. It just gives you a little extra support if you need it for balance. But we want to really incorporate those balance exercises in our routine. Very critical. It's going to recruit more stabilizing, supporting muscles. You know, when we're in the gym together, for instance, the power plate is a great tool that we utilize to really recruit different muscle groups, work on dynamic movement. But these are great ways at home you can facilitate and do these exercises to really strengthen your workout. All right, phase 3, okay, of our unilateral, working on a lateral lunge. Today I'm going to add in spiral diagonal as we try to add those rotation exercises in to add strength to our workout. So we want to get rotation in the trunk. So, okay, good position here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you that sagittal viewpoint. Lateral lunge, rotation. Lateral lunge, rotate. Take my time on these exercises. I don't want to rush them. In the internal and external rotators of the hip, adductor, abductor groups, supporting muscles in the hip. The hip is the other most versatile joint in the body, so very important to work on those stabilizers as well. The spiral diagonal pattern, working trunk, core, internal, external oblique. The supporting muscles around the spine that are so critical for stability. Again, working more calories, get more of the body involved. All right, great. And you're going to feel that hit a lot of different muscles in different areas. So, good job at home, great work. When finished, we did a rotator cuff stabilization. We worked on some 3 primary full body unilateral exercises. And now, just to finish out, a couple of key movement patterns on the mat here that we can work for core. And you can do this anywhere, comfortable setting. I'm gonna get in a position here where you can see me. Just gonna warm up here, very important exercise. 10 standard bridges. Notice I'm driving through my heels, going into a posterior pelvic tilt, squeezing the glutes. So important to stop on that end range to get the motion, to get the muscles firing, that we're hitting our targets. Gonna get that started with 10, and then we're gonna take it unilateral. So I'm just gonna straighten my right leg, okay? I'm gonna do 10 more. Notice how I'm moving my hips with the legs, coming up off the floor. Really firing hamstring glute. remember, gluteus medius is a primary hip stabilizer. So this is going to target the glute median and the maximus. One more here. Those are really burning up at home. Okay. Here's another viewpoint. Giving you this frontal view. Bringing my leg up in synchronicity with my hips. Still finishing up top strong. Glute, hammy. Two more here. All right, just a fantastic exercise. Great, and you can do the single leg is going to add a lot of intensity to that movement pattern, which is really great to do when we're away from the gym. Two more here that to finish out here, making yourself tall, getting in a good position, making it wide with the arms, the legs are spread, and a good position here. I'm going to come across the body. A good dynamic stretch, but meanwhile, incorporating core into the program. Constantly working on breathing, coming across, working on the strength and the trunk. So what makes these exercises terrific is they're going to increase your flexibility, strengthen your core at the same time. That makes the exercise is very beneficial, particularly if you tend to be tighter. So it's going to help improve flexibility. I'm going to finish off today. We know this, sometimes this is called a V-up or a double straight leg stretch. So just a really powerful move for the core. So I'm just going to come. I like to come and hold the spot, get that range of motion. Really takes a lot of strength. Take my time, hold the end range. If I get that isometric hold, I'm hold and work the core just a little more. Transverse abdominis, rectus abdominis. Whew. These are burning up. Two more here. And hold, and you can even do an isometric hold just to finish. All right. Great work. Okay, great workout today. So we worked on some different aspects for today's programming and its progression. So just super excited to put these different packages in for you and to enhance your understanding of why we're doing these exercises and how you can make exercise work for you to improve muscle imbalances, to improve stability, and so critical to work weak points. We have a tendency to want to work on what we're good at, but I think it's critical to try to identify where we have weakness. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Master Trainer Shane Mote. Thanks for joining us today at the Indianapolis Selfplex. We love you guys. Hope you're well, and have a great day.